Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And today's lesson I want to get into is going to go into how I had to get my wrist scanned to go into this restaurant. And I'm thinking in my head, excited, like, man, we almost out of here. Because for those, pretty sure brothers know by now. Well, brothers know, but those who have just been watching us, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast, all right, which is the RFID chip, will be physically inserted in you, as it says here. And he calls it all, both small and great, which that word calls, meaning this devil is going to coerce the world. Let me see. That word calls, all right, to make, poieo, to make, with the names of things made, to produce, construct, form, or fashion. So he's going to fashion the world. All right, he's going to mold the world to where you won't be able to buy or sell. All right, everybody in the world, every man, every human being won't be able to buy or sell. All right, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, I just doing a little experiment. The person I was with, the guy at the restaurant, scanned their right arm, but I'm like, you know what, doesn't matter. And then I put out my left arm, and he just scanned it. He said, yeah, we good. But just as a cut to those naysayers that say, what if they put it in your butt cheek, or what if they put it in your foot? It don't matter, man. If it's in your body, you got the mark of the beast, and you're going to eat a missile, as the scriptures say in Revelations 14:9. And as I was thinking about doing this lesson prior to, I was thinking about how Esau really is gearing this world up to take the Maxine. He's actually been gearing this world up to take this Maxine. Little do you know, it's actually a well, it's a portion in the movie Focus, for brothers that haven't seen, with Will Smith. And he makes a bet with this Korean, I think it was Korean or whatever, and it's looking like he's losing, but it's really a grand scheme to where he wages a lot of money on his bet that seems impossible. But anyway, he knew that he was going to win the bet because he was subconsciously putting thoughts in this man's mind, to see the number 55, all right? From the music he listened to, to the protests he had to drive by to get to the stadium where they was at, to the heart, the stripper he was popping, and I look at it like that. Well, that's how this devil's doing it. For example, like, I always take note when I go to a restaurant or something. I always take note if there's an actual, how do they go about drying your hands? I don't, this is something the spirit always allowed me to take note of, to see, if it's like a hand, a dryer. And what they always say, we use a dryer because it saves trees, knowing that Esau don't give a damn. All right. And then they got the touchless soap dispensers. So Esau's always pushing cleanliness. All right. It's for your health. It's for the earth, and he's been getting these people geared up, He's been getting these people geared up, for this Maxine, whether they know it, understand it, believe it or not, And I always think about how the scriptures say, Revelations 13:15, Revelations 14:9, Revelations 15:2. It always speaks about those that, accepted the image of the beast will also receive the mark. Now the image is more subtle, The image is also more subtle, to where it's not directly forcing you, you know, but it's always in your face. The image of the beast is the representation of what this place stands for. The representation of America. Okay? When you look at an image, the image represents that artist. Alright, what represents this place? Homosexuality, lawlessness. Okay? When you watch TV, what do you see? Homosexuality, lawlessness. Do as thou wilt. Okay? So if you cool with that, which most Jakes are, they don't have a problem with homosexuality. You know? They don't have problems with the you know, being taxed to death. That's all unrighteousness. Taxes, all right? Usury. Esau pushing off usury. All right? He actually has, you know, comedians. You know, there's a lot of these comedians or whatever. They're always pushing homosexuality in their jokes. Nobody thinks nothing of it. You know? And then what Jake do when they're around each other, you know what I'm saying? You know, to kid around with each other, they'll use homosexuality. You know, because that's, again, you know, people don't really think of these things. But I know just something I noticed, you know, that's why the scriptures tell us to be sober. Let me grab that. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, it says, be sober. Be sober, be calm, be collected in spirit. All right? Watch. You see it down here in the Strong's definition, it says watch. Okay? Because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. The scriptures also say that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay? We're not ignorant of what he's doing. Now, to most, to think outside the box, you will be considered a nut, a conspiracy nut, a conspiracy theorist. Okay? But the scriptures teach us to never trust our enemy. The scriptures teach us how the snake will move. That he comes with gifts. Alright? The scriptures speak about how his words are smoother than butter, yet woe is in his heart. Whom resists that says seeking whom he may devour, who resists steadfast in the faith. Oh no, that was pretty much it though. You know? And this devil speaks with a forked tongue. I think that was another one I had in mind. Let me see. Well, you know what? The scriptures speak about how a friend, you know, you're not supposed to be so easily to accept a friend. All right, you got to try him out first. You know, but Jake is so easy to accept, and that's another thing. This devil is basically rocking you back to sleep with those stimulus checks. He's not so bad. He's actually helping us out. Yeah, Sirach 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. There's actually a scripture. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. Sirach 19 and 26. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit. Okay? Casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. So at the time that Esau, you know, got you fattened up, you're not going to be aware to what happens. You know, here it is, the beginning, you know, the middle. Shit, damn near all of last year, Jake was getting shot down by the cops. You know, riffing and raving over the injustice done. But now, you know, they chilling. You know, They looking for, they looking for a new devil, so to speak. They looking for a new man, And they actually, they they looking for Joe Biden to do them justice. Talking about if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. But he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. Brothers always talk about how you have Barack Obama, which is secretly doing things under the table. Case in point, the Obamacare Act, which is 1,000 pages, 1,000-something pages long, and it's not till you get, closer to the end to where you find out what he's really up to. All right, and here it is, we're closer to the end in the time of Revelations, and we're seeing what this devil is really up to. This is why he's taking brothers' lessons down. This is why, we got to kind of maneuver around what we say, because this devil doesn't want his plans to be made known. But the scriptures say, at the end it shall speak and not lie. It says, the scriptures say that the Lord revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. All right, and the Lord commanded us to go out there and tell the people. And it says, casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not, where he is not known, he will do thee mischief before thou be aware. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. Makes you think about Trump and how he, is pushing for everybody to get $2,000. But I'm looking at it as he's trying to, I don't know, maybe he's trying to win the people over. There's something, I was thinking about. Yeah, man, but the scriptures tell us to never trust our enemy, because he's not for your turn. Okay? He's not for your turn. Proverbs 16. No, I always get that mixed up. Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Like Esau be on some shit. Nah, never mind. But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. The tender mercies of Esau are cruel. All right. I'm trying to remember. I believe I was watching a brother. That's why I didn't count him. Let me see. I'm going to play that video. Lord willing, don't get taken down.
We're having to plan months ahead, and if the people out there aren't planning months ahead, if you're not planting food right now, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. And how is it? My question to you though, Celeste, is how does FEMA run that whole idea of, hey, we're here to help you. If you want food, come on in and consent to this FEMA camp. How does that exchange actually work? How do they run that on the streets?
So you would go to the public reception center, then that's where you would be processed. It's going to be different than the concentration camps of World War II, because we basically are in an automated technocracy. They've got synthetic beings, they have robotics. They really don't need a large population base. So one of the reasons that I left
And real quick, Salakia, I want to mention too that the beast that was mentioned of in Revelations, really Revelations 13, Revelations 14, speaking about the ancient Roman Empire, but it speaks about how the beast that was and is not and now is. All right, Rome fell for a little bit, so it was not and now is. All right, coming back up under the the UK, you know. Just want to clear that up. Salakia.
Agencies is they have this claim that if you do not believe that the government is God, then you would go to one of these processing centers briefly. If you could be re-educated, they would do that. Although there isn't much need for humans, that the globalists really are free to admit that there's no room for humans anymore. It's our duty to expire so that to make the planet, to atone for our sins, basically, of what we've done to the planet. And so you will basically be killed. And there are two different humane methods of killing. And one of those is gassing, and the other method is decapitation. And they've been
You see, she called it humane. That's humane. To gas a person, have him choking to death. You know? Probably die slowly, bleed out from their fucking throat or something, who knows? Or chop their head off. So imagine what other tactics this devil got.
doing all these experiments, decapitating thousands and thousands of mice, recording their brain waves, all of that, to justify decapitation as a humane method of euthanizing.
If you see something, say something.
Yeah, so this man is a devil, man. It was just a few thoughts. Also, what was it? Russia. They got the Sputnik V going out there to Argentina, and also going to Venezuela. And I was seeing something yesterday of how, which this is like, this video might have been like 3 years ago, to where this famous YouTuber, he goes to Venezuela, you know, around the time, well, 3 years ago was still around the time where they had crazy inflation and lack of food and everything. And when he went shopping, what he mentioned is that you had to scan your finger every time you went shopping, which was basically to track what you're buying, because because of the fact that there wasn't many items. There wasn't much food selection, so you couldn't. That's the way they was pushing it. So you couldn't keep going back and buying the same food. So hey, man, this just showing you how Esau's pushing everybody to be okay. It's pushing everybody to be okay to take this vaccine through his gradualism, through his fear on so-called germs and stuff like that. But it's ultimately going to push you to take the RFID chip. All right, with enough fear, you don't think. So with that, Lord willing, you Akim edified. Shalom to the elect.